Hi, I'm now live. I tried a second ago and it didn't work, and now here I am. Hi. I'm just going to talk for a minute and give people a chance to get here. Um, yeah, hi. Welcome to the first of what I'm calling lockdown moods because I am deeply uncool, and it's my way of trying to make myself sound cooler, which I do a lot. This is a little experiment, really, to do read a few poems and have a little bit of a chat and stuff, and just see how we're getting on. I think the likelihood is that the people who are watching are my relatives and people who already know me. So, hi, how are you? If I haven't spoken to you for a while, I hope you're well. If I spoke to you today, I kind of know how you're doing, but still, it's good to know. Cheers. So, yeah, the point is basically we're going to have a wee drink together and shoot the breeze and talk a little about what's going on. So, anywho, that's basically it. I think I'm largely going to be talking to myself, but I don't mind. That's okay. That's all right. What I want to do really is just say welcome to my channel. So if you're new here and you haven't seen me before or know anything about me, then I'm Tom Allsopp and I'm a poet. And I am a school teacher and dad and partner and friend and dreamer, and also in amongst all that, occasionally a poet. And up until lockdown, I was doing live work and writing lots of things and stuff, and it was all good. And then there was lockdown and the pandemic, and it put sort of quite a lot of my plans on hold, and that was a bit awkward. But anywho, here we are. So I hope you're well. I hope you're comfy. I hope you have a little drinky. I've got a little drink here. This is a little G and T, the capital G, small T. So I'm not gonna be on for very long. It's probably gonna be 20 minutes at most. I'm gonna just have a little chat and read a few poems, really. So I've been putting videos up on my YouTube channel for basically since lockdown, which is very strange. It's deeply odd, in fact, that I've been just doing it in lockdown. It feels like, but then that's sort of what lockdown's like, isn't it? It kind of feels like it's been forever. People were talking about the new normal, and I think weird is the new normal. And then when everything stops being weird and goes back to normal, we're all going to be like, "Oh, normal's weird, isn't it? Oh, do you remember when things were weird? I like that better." So anyhow, I'm going to start and read my first poem of the evening. So what I wanted to do was start by reading something that I wrote it was sort of we hadn't been locked down all that long, but we've been locked down a fair bit. It was kind of June time, and it was about I'd started to really miss the pub, and I missed pubs so badly. I hadn't realised how much of how important they were to me and to people. I think they really are, and I think we maybe we took them for granted. I don't think I did, but maybe we took them for granted anyway. So the first piece I want to do for you tonight it's just called The Pub, and it's just a bit about what they mean to me and to people that I know, and to and how important they are. And yeah, so there you go. So anyway, this is called The Pub. It was a pub where I showed my best friends in all the world my son for the first time. In the musty yet still sublime fug of the saloon, he wiggled and farted in their collective gaze. In days gone by, it was a pub where those friendships were formed, forged in the heat of countless nonsense conversations. They meant nothing on their own, but their collective weight has grown into bonds that won't be broken by distance or time passed since we've spoken. It was a pub where I was sitting talking nonsense when our little tribe got word that a mutual friend had died, our first loss, and it felt both crass and perfect that we were all there together. I still think of him from time to time when I take that first sip of beer in a room or a pub, air thick with cheer. I think of a chair stood empty and a voice I'll never hear. I quietly resolved to have the good time that he'd wanted. In the scheme of all we've lost, and losing still for some, a pub seems so small. Four walls and the transient comfort of friends. But I miss it, and all the people who fill it for me. I still see them in the little rectangles of love, and I'll wait, and it will wait for me. Soon, in the not too distant future, I can see us all there swapping stories about all this stuff we did, swayed by swayed by constant telling and by years. Till then, and with occasional frowns, I'll hold on for the next round. Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Yeah. So we did see about the pub. Pubs are good, aren't they? Yeah, I like them. And I miss them. And I miss all the people I went to the pub with and go to the pub with. If you're watching and you're one of those people, I miss you in a real way. And I want to drink beer while you tell me silly things and then tell you some silly things back. Okay. Yeah. Good. Yeah, good so far. Good. Yeah. If you, by the way, if you're watching on like a device, like a laptop or a computer, and you have the facility to type, like, you know, the ability to move your fingers and whatnot, you can leave a little comment for me in the live chat if you want and say, hey, you don't have to, obviously. Don't feel pressure now. I'll be like, oh no, he's told us to put, oh God, what do I do? Like that, you know, that unbelievable tension that comes when you have to sign a card at work in front of people. And there's that awful peer pressure that you think, oh, I've got to write something like really good because people are looking. And really what you need to write is like, you know, happy birthday, Bob, or, you know, obviously assuming that it's Bob's birthday. But you know what I mean? And it's weird, isn't it? But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, what else am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to do another one. This is sort of slightly more recent and has become really sort of has a resonance again, because I try to be as verbally non-political as possible, because I don't really think my opinion means anything. And that's not to say that everyone should do that, but I don't necessarily think I've got anything to add. So I try not to, you know, to transmit all the time. But the recent sort of catastrophe really about free school meals and looking after children and families and making sure everyone's got enough food to eat, and doesn't seem like a complicated thing to me. I didn't at the time, but it apparently it is. Oh, my mum has popped on the live chat to say that we're on their telly. Good. If you're kind of watching and you want to chat to my mum, you can do. I'll save you some time. She made my school trousers when I was a child, and I'm trying to think what else she tells people. That's it really, pretty much. She'll make you. In fact, actually, if you're a bit chilly, if you stand near her long enough, she'll knit you a cardigan. You don't even have to tell her what size you are. She'll just size you up and start knitting. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, hi mom, hi dad. If dad's awake. Or mum's awake. I bet it might be dad typing, actually. Maybe mum's asleep. Anyway, so hush up, Tom. Do a poem. Yeah. So this is about the people who voted no to feeding children, and that seems a bold move to me. I feel like a sort of thing we shouldn't do. I don't know all the ins and outs of these things. I don't pretend to be any expert, but it just seems to me that that's the sort of thing you vote yes to because people are hungry, and so you feed them. That doesn't seem complicated. I'm not a religious man, but my reading of quite a lot of scripture is that that's sort of the idea. Again, I'm happy to be argued with about it. But anyway, so this is a reaction to that. And then obviously Matt Hancock went on TV a week or two ago and was just deeply unimpressive in terms of his answers to why did you vote no to a thing? Why are you now saying you're pleased the thing is happening that you voted no to? You had a chance to help it happen and you went nope. And they said, "Oh, I'm glad that thing I tried to stop happening has happened." It just seems odd. Anyway, so this is called "You Vote No," and it is it's sort of a little bit political and a little bit cross, which isn't really very me. But anyway, yeah, you vote no. You vote no. Like it's complicated and then placated by your sophisticated intellectual contortion, vanish into the distortion. You vote no and then slope off to a subsidized bar or a chauffeur driven car that I paid for. You vote no, confident that this mess can be dismissed as you leave in bliss, ignorant of the consequences since it won't be your kids going hungry. You vote no Because in your world, a sort of giant spreadsheet replete like a battle flag draped on the coffin of our pain rules your stone heart, drained of all care and laid bare, a night with no stars and a gloom of despair. You vote no and dare to stand there in the full glare of our horror and borrow the courage of others, of a band of brothers, a poppy pinned to your lapel as though it's a force field to repel all scrutiny and avoid mutiny. When it dawns on the masses in tired and frightened classes that the people whose valour you've stolen for favour are the same as the parents whose kids you won't pay for, why do you think they fought? For adventure? For sport? It was a grave ill to prevent a greater one, and you, in your two-faced pantomime, you taint that honour. You vote no to save a penny here, to take the side of fear when it seems that fear is already winning. You stand there grinning as you teach the poor another lesson, like the cats that got the cream, shuffling fat paws on the shards of shattered dreams. You vote no. Enjoy it while you can, because today, tomorrow began, and each mouth you won't feed is listening, and indeed will one day vote too, and deliver their children from the likes of you. Yeah, so that was all a bit shady and political, but anyway, yeah, that's called You Vote No. And yeah, I'm not claiming that all these things are simple, but I think, should we feed people? Yes or no? I feel like that is simple. I just feel like it is. But apparently it isn't. So anyway, there you go. What are you going to do? But yeah, anywho. Yeah, so what I'm really doing is I'm just sort of trying to say hey and just trying to share some poems really. And if this goes well, I'm going to try and do this more often because I'm kind of enjoying myself. I hope you're a little drinking. I'm very much enjoying this little G&T I've got going on here. How long have we been on? Oh, we've been on 12 minutes. Crikey. I've done 2 poems. I've done 2 poems. Okay. So I'm gonna, what I want to try and do as we go forward is in the week, I want to try and sort of ask people for things I might like a little poem about, and I might try and get a poem written in time to share. But I'm going to have to see if anyone is even paying attention. It might be that no one is watching and no one even cares. I'm not sure. But if you are and you do, and you want to get in touch and you want to ask me to write a poem about something, or you've got an idea that you might think might make a nice poem, then I would love to hear it. If you also, if you're enjoying what's going on this lovely video here, if you could give it a little like, that'd be lovely. A little thumbs up, find the little like button and go click. Then YouTube tells everybody that you like it, and then they will all come and we can start our own army and go and take over the world. That would be good, wouldn't it? Right. Oh, good. People have done that. That's good. It's definitely mum and dad that's done that. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, so I'm not gonna stay on too long. Really, I'm really grateful that people have come back to watch. It's really lovely of you. Yeah, I'm really blown away that people are here. So anyway, you're all lovely, and I love you to bits. And I miss seeing people. I miss seeing them in the outside. Watching your cheeky faces on rectangles is brilliant, and I'm really loving zooming with you, and I'm really loving doing pub quizzes with you, and I'm loving all of that. But I just can't wait to sit around a table and laugh and talk nonsense. And I've got a lot of nonsense to talk as well, but we'll move on and let's not dwell on that. Yeah, so I'm going to do another poem now because that's sort of why you're all here, hopefully. Anyway, God, imagine if you came here because you were looking for like recipes. Wrong shop, mate. Wrong shop. Anyway, I'm going to do another wee poem now. I'm going to do this one. So this is, I think the ebook version of this is still available. I was really lucky to be involved in a charity poetry book. I was picked to be one of the featured poets in a poetry book, which is still available, I think, on Amazon as an ebook. But I'm hoping to get an update about paper copies that people are really interested in to get hold of, which is dead exciting for me, just for me alone. You might not be very excited, but I'm very excited. So I'm gonna do the poem that's in that book of mine that's there, and it's about hope. My mum said, "What? No recipes? No, mum. As well, no recipes. I leave the cooking to the child. The child is the professional cookery person. Um, yeah, it's good. The time's ticking down until he gets his own channel, and then this will all fade into an irrelevance, really. But yeah, so oh, that was good telly, wasn't it? That was good telly. Just me drinking. It's very strange. This. It's like I've taken myself hostage. Anywho, so this poem was for that. So the charity book was to raise money for the NHS charities. And it was very, very exciting. And the Christmas special of the Great British Menu, one of the featured poets our book was featured. One of the poets read her poem. She's a nurse as well as being a poet, or she's a poet as well as being a nurse. I'm not sure which way around you put it, but yeah. So this poem is in that book, and so it's on available on Amazon still. I think there's an ebook, but if you hang fire and if you've contacted me about a print book, they're coming. So anyhow, let's move on and let's read the poem. This poem is called Hope, and it's all about hope, not a person called Hope. The abstract feeling. My introductions will get better as we go on. Good. Okay. I met Hope when I was younger, in the depths of my despair, and since then she's walked beside me and she whispers in my ear. I'm attempts at conversation with people that you hate. I'm the calming voice reminding you you don't believe in fate. I'm waiting in the silence on the days you feel alone. I'm the beat that won't stop coming though you fear your heart is stone. I'm the friendly face you look for when you're lost as lost can be. I'm hope, she says in earnest. You can put your trust in me. I'm the shine of brand new school shoes and the first stroke of your pen on a crisp white sheet of paper when you dare not start again. I'm the kindness of a stranger on the day you need it most. I'm a glimpse of the horizon from the peril of the coast. I've been waiting in the darkness. You had only looked to see. I'm hope, she said while smiling, and I've come to set you free. Thanks. Yeah, that's a little poem about hope, which I think we all need, because it feels a bit grim out there sometimes at the moment, doesn't it? It's not really. Like, there's loads of lovely things happening. It's just no one's writing news stories about them. It's just graphs, isn't it? I've never seen so many graphs. All I do now is talk about graphs. I went for probably about my first 30, 35, 36 years of my life never looking at a graph ever, and now all of a sudden, now it's just graphs all over the place. Oh, hey, Mike. Oh, we're at school. Oh, beautiful. How you doing? Okay. Yeah, that was a weird way to say hi. Hi, Mike. I'm really glad you're here. Oh, look. Oh, hang on a moment. I know that person. Yeah, mother of my child and partner is giving me little rounds of applause. That either means that he's asleep and she's watching, or he's not asleep and he's watching as well. So I'll say, hi Emma and hi Evan. If you're awake, you should be asleep, but I know before we started this you were awake. But anyway, so yeah. So anyway, yeah. So that's called Hope, and yeah, I think it's you're always bad at graphs or bad typing from me, bad spelling from my mum there typing. My mum's allergy and tonic. Speaking of which, chin chin. Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting burned now by my parents on the old live chat in my live. Right. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to be keeping you too longer. He's asleep. The child's asleep. I could be on all night. Yay! Oh, except now maybe we're going to watch a movie. So yeah, no, maybe we'll shut up and move on. Okay, great. So anyway, I'm gonna read one more poem, and then we'll say a little goodnight and go to sleep. And this is a poem that I wrote about my son, and a very particular thing about him, in that he is a good-looking wee lad, and not unlike his father, has very long hair. And because he's a good-looking wee lad and has long hair, almost everyone who meets him thinks that he's a girl, and it's a bit tricky if you're a parent, particularly if you're like a parent of youngish kids. the gender thing is very complicated, and I don't mean the concept of gender for themselves, because obviously yes that is, but I mean the concept of trying to avoid gender stereotyping in toys is really, really difficult, and you become very ranty in shops. I was studying Aldi, and we wanted to buy him a tea set, and we wanted to buy him a tea set, and the only tea sets they had flowers on. And I was like, oh, I don't want to buy one with flowers on. And then I was thinking, why don't I want to buy one with flowers on? He can have one with flowers on. Why am I doing that? He can have a flowery tea set. That's fine. But why should he have to have a flowery tea? And all of that's going on in your head in the queue in a supermarket. And it's just bizarre. It's very difficult. And anyway, so when we meet people on like if we're walking and we bump into them and they kind of misgender him and they say they come and go, it's very complicated, because what you're trying to do is sort of say, oh, but he's a boy, but it'd be totally fine if he was a girl as well, and we'd love him just as much. I'm not angry that you think he's a girl, because it'd be fine if he's a girl, but it happens that he's not, and it's fine. And obviously that's a lot of conversation to have with someone who you just bumped into while you're out walking your dog. Anyway, so this is a sort of poem I wrote to try and get all of those feelings out. It's called a chance meeting, and yeah, yeah. I'm not angry that you thought he was a girl on the strength of a hair clip holding curl after curl from his eyes so he can see where he's going on a Fireman Sam scooter that he's a little bit not quite big enough for yet. I'm not angry that you thought he was a girl because he pushed his pushchair and his baby Pippa into your leg at the park. It was dark and you and he were equally unable to stop and see. I'm not angry at you at all. It's me. You see, I'm put out that for a fraction of a heartbeat, you made me jump and insist that he is male. I'm tired. I'm frail, and I can't shut out your nonsense like 2015 me could and should. You made me, for the blink of a hummingbird's eye, forget that really, just like now, if my beloved he was she, that we would play the same games. We'd have our full-on 2 cakes and a lemon slice in each cup tea parties, pinkies up in affectation of refinement, the menu somewhat subject to the confinement of the little Aldi tea set we bought him. I'd still help him, her, to change the nappy of his, her, beloved doll and listen misty-eyed as he whispered that ghosts are friendly before kissing her goodnight. That she would have a cooker and a tool bench, and her mum and I would laugh at him stirring an invisible pan of spaghetti with a spanner. I'm angry that I didn't tell you that my heart would beat for his the same if he was she and go in by another given name, and that your tendency to try and pigeonhole us is your problem, not ours. We're like Fireman Sam. We've got fires to put out of our own. I hope we're less hung up on pronouns when he's grown. Thanks very much. Right. Man, it's been 23 minutes. I said I'll be on for 10 minutes. It'll be all right. So if you're one of the people who's like stuck it till the end, I'm really, really grateful. And if you have enjoyed this, then like when we're kind of done, if you just let me know in the comments if you like it and if you think you'd come again. Because I really enjoyed myself and I think this has been really cool. But obviously, I don't want to, I don't want to force people. But also, if you did enjoy this as well, I'd really love it. If you're a subscriber, then brilliant. If you could give this a share, and that'd be lovely, and a like. But if you're not, if you're new here and you've just stumbled upon this because you've seen me on Facebook or you've come along and you want to really think about subscribing, because then next time I do this, you get a little notification, and if you click the little bell, it sort of notifies you as soon as I go on live. I promise I'll try and give you a warning. I'll just appear in the middle of your Sunday lunch, not unless you invite me. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say thank you very, very much for watching, and thanks for playing in the live chat and being nice. Mum, you can go to sleep now. It's fine. We're nearly done. Thanks very much. I'll try and see you next week. Stay safe. Keep washing your hands. Stay strong. We're nearly there, kids. Don't worry. And I'll see you very soon. I'm Tom Allsopp. I'm a poet, and I'll see you next week.